Let me make sure if we're live. No, it still says waiting for me to go live on the YouTubes.
I just got the notification. We are live.
Oh,
So
we
yeah.
are live. Okay, dope. Okay, awesome. No, it still says waiting for me to go live. All right, there we go. Awesome. All right. Thank you again, Mr. Dahl. Point of personal privilege.
Oh, what? Can I just go on a minor rant about that?
Yes, yes, you can.
I fucking hate that they've subverted the word point of order because that's the actual term you're supposed to use in like formal context like this.
Oh, it's
Point of
point of
order.
order?
Yeah, it's point of order, and they've changed it to point of privilege. And I know exactly why. It's because
It
order is an arbitrary social construct, and everything amounts to privilege. So let's just
uh,
change it to point of privilege, so no one gets offended. Well,
I
fuck
mean,
you. Order exists whether we want it to or not. Extropy is a thing. It's the opposite of entropy. Deal with it.
it makes sense that they would because it fits within the framework of how their ideology works, you know, like if you're offended by something or feel seriously aggrieved, and then you would say point of privilege, which they do a
Yeah,
lot.
you evoke it as like a point of influence to yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And I know it works within their framework, but as ever, I call bullshit on their framework, especially
I
when the thing on the chopping block is the very concept of order. God damn you!
I agree completely. It's a bunch of people who do not it's a bunch of people who do not like the way the world I hate saying this, the way the world works now. They want to change it, but in the most authoritarian way possible. It really they really are an unlikable group of
Well,
people.
I mean, if ever your ideology starts with the premise objective reality and objective logic don't exist, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to call bullshit no matter how you like, no matter what follows that statement. I'm gonna have to call bullshit anyway. You've already broken the first rule.
Oh my god.
Don't
Oh my god.
completely ignore objective reality or logic, please.
Dalton, I love talking to you. Like, holy shit, you have no idea how many arguments I've gotten into with my ex because he believes in this so much. He believes in some of this shit. Like, holy fuck. Like, oh my fucking god, homie, you got to chill. He
Like,
believes in so many of these like premises and shit. Just
it's just like I'm starting from the premise that like objective reality and logic don't exist, and I'm like, um, fuck whatever else you're going to say after that. You already broke the rule of reality. Like I can understand you thinking that the world works differently than how it works, but can we at least acknowledge that there is a world to be deferring to? Like, really? Is this the hill we're all gonna die on? Is objective reality doesn't real because reasons?
so I've noticed this way too many liberals, not liberals. I hate saying that because I'm a
Progressive.
progressive. Thank you. I fucking don't. Not all progressives, mind you. I know Comics Division was like, well, not all progressives are SJWs. And I'm like, you're right, they are. But far too many progressives buy into this just myopic ass fucking worldview. I hate this shit so much. Where everything is divided into power struggles
And
and nothing
social
has it
constructs and
exactly.
nothing is objective, nothing is real unless you decree it so. And it's just like fuck what you're decreeing. Can we just not get down to the brass tacks of the, A equals A portion of the program? Like,
Exactly. Nothing has an objective value. Everything is subjective. Jesus fucking Christ.
well, and the reason they do it is because they want to fucking legislate the void. They want to reduce everything down to zero so that they can then go, since nothing matters and everything is subjective, let's insist upon our own personal definitions of what things are. And it's like, I'm sorry, but no, your personal subjective definitions don't matter. Like even in art, there's objective premises to be argued here, and you're reducing all of reality and all of science and all of reason down to social constructs.
Like it is the most childish shit. I can't like honestly, I just can't really stand that shit.
Yeah, it's I can't deal with this, therefore it must not be true.
Yeah. A lot of it, because that's what a lot of it is. A lot of it is people who are just a bunch of wealthy neurotics who can't deal with life.
It's I reject this reality and substitute with my own, made into a fucking complex ideology. That's basically what it boils down to.
Pretty much like, hey, kid, like it's just as if one day someone thought, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're going to abduct this. We're going to what is it? What do they call it? Appropriate this old fucking that we're going to appropriate this old ideology called social justice and retrofit it to something that benefits rich white hipsters.
Well, and the funny thing is, all of this cultural theory woo comes from a bunch of people who were literally shell shocked in World War One. That's where postmodernism comes from, because a bunch of people after the First World War came back home and went, nothing that can create a world like that has any objective value. So we need to examine all art and basically reduce its objective value to zero. And then they started applying it to science and society and sociology and all this other shit. And it was like, you've already started from the we got broke by the First World War. Like, this is literally an insane ideology that's caused by shell shock. That's the historical precedent of this. A bunch of people went to war, got the shit kicked out of them, got so depressed that they thought to themselves, nothing matters, and then they decided to make an entire discipline out of that. Like an entire intellectual discipline out of it. And it's just like,
go ahead.
I don't want to fucking go ad hominem, but when the impetus of your ideology is literally bad things happen to me, therefore nothing matters, you're a child. You're a child who can't look past their own fucking bullshit.
And then you marry it with intersectionality and social justice, and it's like everything is oppression. Oppression is layered. Like, oh, okay. I get like, all right, you know what? I get it. Some, you know what? There are some issues. There are some institutional issues, but Jesus fucking Christ, not everything is oppression. Not everything needs to be seen in this weird power dynamic. I hate that.
And that fucking comes from what the fuck is the German dude's name? Hegel. His idea of history, his whole, like, he looked at history and went, how can we reduce this down to its simplest form? And what he came up with was history is one side conflicting with another side. Therefore, everything is a dichotomy. And I'm like, dude, do you not I feel like I would need to go back in time and slap this dude and be like, have you never heard of this concept we call the false dichotomy? Because that's basically everything your entire conception of history is built upon, is nothing but arbitrary false dichotomy bullshit.
Wait, Dalton, look at this dude. Look at this big dude right here. He's rocking like angel wings and shit. What the fuck is this? What is
this? I don't fucking know, but anyway, we should get back to listening to the actual thing.
Very brief point of information. If you are using a microphone, talk into it directly like I am right now, and do not wave your face back and forth because people cannot hear you. That is all.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
How's it going, everybody but Cholo? That clip you just saw was from the Democratic...
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's loud. So this guy does commentary?
Yeah, well, only in this first part. He basically comes on to explain that he clipped it up and edited some stuff.
Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit past him so we can have a more consistent flow for the stream.
Yeah.
What is this chick wearing? Is that Mario? Oh my god, that bitch is dressed like Mario. Oh no, wait. Oh, that's unfortunate. What the hell am I looking at?
God. It's the privilege on this guy. Nobody's intentionally misgendering anybody here.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to skip past a little bit past him so we can get to the flow of the stream.
Possible and create more socialists.
Oh Jesus! It's this guy again. God, this is like perpetually triggered. What is that fucking? Is that who's the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
The character that Danny DeVito plays.
The Charlie. Is that it, Charlie?
I think so.
He looks like Charlie.
He does kind of, yeah.
He's like a perpetually triggered Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Like for flattering me. The truth is, I'm not the leader of security here. Y'all are. Everybody is responsible for the collective security, safety, and everyone's needs being met here, keeping each other safe, keeping each other secure, and making sure that everybody is able to fully participate in this convention. We have a lot of disabled comrades, and a lot of those are invisible disabilities. So it's up to us to modify that space to make sure that everybody is able to move in the ways that they need to move.
You can't make a functional society that way. You just can't.
Also, fuck you for using the word comrade unironically. Like, fuck all y'all for using the word comrade unironically, because that steers right past all forms of socialism into fucking communism. It's the word comrade is literally derived from the word commune. So the fuck you on this is insurmountable. And also, why is everybody talking like they're fucking Valley Girl hipsters?
They're Valley Girl hipsters.
Well, they are. They're talking as though like every statement is a question, and every sentence is just an upward inflection at the end. Like they never learned how to speak properly, and I'm just like, why?
Like, I'm not the head of security? Question mark.
Like, are you informing me of something, or are you asking me something? Because you don't sound sure yourself there, dude.
Thank you for being here, comrades. Really? Thank you, comrades.
It's like the fucking voice that DNC does for like SJW Comic Bros or
Thank you for being here, comrades. Oh my god.
And they're sitting there doing it unironically, like as though there is no self-awareness whatsoever. And it's just like, guys, if you want to be a cohesive political movement, you might try, I don't know, acting like you should be taken seriously for 5 seconds. Just saying. Like,
bro, I'm gonna tell you, like, you see shit like this, you just laugh. Like, this is like the thing is, like, it's like I said again, it's you can't make a coherent, you can't really make a functional society when, what did he say? Like, everybody's disabilities are invisible. Like, yeah, okay, sure, everybody's disabilities are invisible, but like.
And also, fuck you. Some of us do actually have demonstrable physical disabilities and are quite insulted by you and your imaginary ones. Thanks.
Seriously, like, and you can't know someone's disabilities. Like, this is such fucking nonsense. Like, holy shit! Just the idea that we have to basically. Rearrange this? We have to shape society around someone's invisible disabilities. And what does that mean, invisible disabilities?
Well, I think being charitable, he's referring to like mental disorders and shit.
I mean, I get that, and I can understand that, but Jesus Christ, bro. Like, everyone has some sort of disability by that logic. Like, holy shit, man. I don't know.
Well,
like,
and also, this is the other thing. This entire ideology comes from the exact same impulse that I've always fucking hated. As a disabled person, I've always fucking hated this.
Yeah, basically, it infantilizes you.
Yeah, people will talk down to you like you're mentally disabled, no matter how mentally acute you happen to be, just because you're physically disabled, and it becomes the most insulting fucking thing because you want to just angrily chew out some motherfuckers, but you can't really do that because people are trying to be nice, and you can't really.
Yeah,
so you end up stuck in this weird feedback loop where like people are unnecessarily baby talking you and being condescending as fuck, and they don't realize they're doing it, and they're trying to help you, but in actuality they're being really fucking condescending pricks. And you want to chew them out for it, but you can't because they're trying to be nice. So you're just left standing there going, just wait until they're done. Just wait until they're done, and then do it yourself. Fuck off.
Exactly, because it's like, And they're not really helping you when they do that shit. If anything, they're just making you feel even further emasculated. Because you just feel like you're
Yeah,
just
like-
some child, some
like
stupid baby.
I'm not aware that I have physical disabilities and things are difficult enough for me.
Yeah.
Thanks. Like,
Exactly. And so you just feel, and to make matters worse, you have people who are like, we have people here who have invisible disabilities. Like, I understand that you wanna, care about somebody who has invisible disabilities like mental illness and shit like that. But honestly, this isn't the way to do it. This is just insulting, and quite honestly, it just comes off as if, and people aren't that frail. Like, I mean, if there are people who are really that frail, then they probably aren't going to be outside. They probably aren't going to be outside of their homes, honestly.
and also, and this is another thing I've learned as someone who spent a lifetime as a disabled person. People will go out of their way to help you, and if you fail after they've gone out of their way to help you, that's your fault. Like, on some point, at some level, it's got to be you. Now,
Pretty much.
I actually have a fairly minor disability. It's mostly just my legs and my hands that get fucked up. But I'm fully aware there are other people with more severe disabilities than me. But even I've talked to people who are straight up paralyzed, and even they've just been like, no, at some point, it's got to be on you.
Hold on, me. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's got to be on you because, like, I have my own share of issues, but you've got to take responsibility for those issues eventually. Like, you can't always just rely on you can't always just rely on other people to be considerate for you.
Well, and not only that, but there are some other people, and I absolutely despise these motherfuckers, who will use the fact that they have a disability to milk other people for all their worth, basically, and basically get all the free shit and all the help and all the this and that and the other that they possibly can. And it becomes the most insulting thing ever, because it's like, this is why we can't have nice things, because people like you take advantage of people like this. We get condescended to when we, just struggle reaching something on a higher shelf than we can reach or something.
It doesn't help that you're like 5'1" too, right?
5'4" to 5'6", somewhere
Like
in there.
Dalton's a fucking twink.
Yeah.
In a good way. There we go.
Yeah. And like 135.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, we I guess play the next clip.
All right, let me see. Where is it? Okay. Sorry for the lack of professionalism, guys.
First of all, in this room, I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important, because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, when we can do something like reducing that, that's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these. And additionally, with the noise issue, like, avoid hissing, avoid waving banners, right? If you don't know what to do, show up these, right? I'm sure there's lots of ways that we can communicate to each other without needing to rely on something that's going to hurt somebody else. We have quiet rooms that are available. There's a range of options of these, right? On 7, there's one that has video but no sound.
What if like waving and the motion of hands going back and forth triggers you? And like, I don't even mean that in a way like, LOL, you're triggered, faggot. No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, legitimately, what if that is an issue for you? Like,
what if you're paranoid and like the movement of things in your peripheral vision is triggering?
Exactly.
Some trauma or something.
Yeah.
Which that would actually be somewhat legitimate. But more to the point, yes, my dude, even if we were in a regular room and people were allowed to clap for you, you are completely and utterly non-engaging. So I doubt even in a normal auditorium space would you get any claps. Just saying.
Seriously.
Fuck you.
Exactly. It's like, bruh, like you can't. Again, and I say this again and again, you can't have a functional society like this. Not when everyone is hyper vigilant about everything, every minor discomfort, dislike, and issue someone has cannot be catered to. At that point, you just have a bunch of people who are terrified of even interacting with each other. And
what's more is there are some people who are physically and mentally incapable of accommodating for shit like that. Like there are people with autism and shit like that who don't have the necessary like neurological faculties to engage in empathy and wonder what's going to offend this person or that person. And if you tell a person with autism or pretty severe autism that they need to pay that close attention to this person and that person's emotional state, they're going to have a fucking heart attack because they have to do that with everybody else already. Like basic human shit is difficult enough for them as it is, and you're gonna up the difficulty level by like 10 notches because of your personal particular like issues. I'm sorry, but no, fuck you.
Pretty much.
Other people's ability to function takes precedence over your need to feel 100% safe and 100% accounted for at all times and in all circumstances. Fuck off.
Seriously, like your need to feel emotionally safe at all times is nothing, like pales in comparison to people's actual physical issues. Sorry, that's not how that works. Like these people, they talk about, it's funny, they talk about caring about others and all of this other shit and wanting to take care of their fellow man and be empathetic, but they don't really have much empathy for anyone who in any way disturbs or discomforts them.
Yeah. Once you've triggered somebody, your humanity basically drains out of you and you become the enemy of all righteous goodness, basically.
And then you have Snowflake Charlie here on your asshole the whole time.
Oh, fuck.
Who still want to be able to observe the convention, but the sound is an issue. There's also in Piedmont 8 a completely quiet room. One thing to note there, please don't go into that space with anything that's like an aggressive scent, for instance, right? Because that's going to be difficult for people.
An aggressive scent. My soul escaped.
Okay. But just for the record, just to keep it on something kind of like substantive here, imagine the resources and the money these people must have to just rent out rooms for quiet and shit.
Yeah, like these are literally champagne socialists. They're people who are clearly, these are people who clearly are, when politicians talk about the 1% or the upper middle class, they're talking about people like this. They're talking about people who can rent out rooms for quiet time and aggressive sense, really aggressive sense. What?
I think I can attempt to explain where they're getting that.
Please, like, decode this for me.
I will attempt to apply some kind of logical standard to this. God help me. Because the olfactory nerve is actually the most sensitive nerve in the human body, and the sense of smell is actually the most primary of the senses because it's the scent that we relied upon, millions of years ago when we were still fucking apes living in trees and shit. Because of that, the sense of smell is actually the most primary of all the senses. So if you want to take that into account, this might potentially very vaguely make some kind of sense. However, given that these are the people who think that science is an arbitrary social construct created by the Western patriarchy to oppress everyone, I would hazard a guess and say that if I brought that up to them, they would get triggered by me deferring to anything that's objective or measurable.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
So I'm thinking that even by defending their position with some actual objective truth, I may have triggered somebody.
Even then, I don't see that as a defendable position because there are the sense of a person's sense of smell and what they can tolerate is also has some nature of subjectivity to it, right? Like some people can't tolerate like certain types of perfumes.
Yeah,
And
because of the way their brains are wired and shit.
exactly. It's like there are so many like subjective factors there when it comes to aggressive sense. And even if you want to say your sense of smell is like really, really really, really powerful, which it is, which I agree it is. I aggressive sense is such a like if you are that disturbed by someone's scent or by aggressive sense, because and that in of itself
How hyperactive must your senses have to be, and therefore how much must you be completely catatonic at all times whenever you step outside of your house?
yeah, seriously, because like there are aggressive scents everywhere.
Yeah. And I just live in the country, and I can tell you there's still aggressive scents out here. I can't imagine what it must be like for somebody who lives in a fucking city with what with the tar and the fucking sweat and the fucking noises of every different car and all that shit. So like
Exactly, and there's food and like there's like a lot of food scents everywhere that sort of like weave themselves in other scents sort of overlapping. Like you can't like homie, you would die if you went outside.
you would either die or you would learn to become fucking Sherlock Holmes, basically. Because that's the only way I can imagine if your senses were that heightened and that refined. That's the only way you could function is if you became basically like Sherlock Holmes and were able to like logically deduce every single fucking thing that came across your path. And we know these motherfuckers
one second.
aren't ever gonna be.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me make sure my the right mic is working, right? Let me see.
Yeah, you're coming through fine. I don't know if you have other mics or whatever, but
All right.
you're coming through fine. Anyway, yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
The only way you could function reasonably if your senses were that heightened is if you were like fucking Sherlock Holmes. And we know these people aren't fucking Sherlock Holmes because of how they view logic as an arbitrary social construct. I think if Sherlock Holmes was a real person and existed today, that he would probably trigger them because of his focus on logic and deduction.
I can't imagine a person like this existing in any real way. I'm going to be honest with you. He's just so like the amount of neuroses these people must have just fascinating to me. It's just like holy shit.
It baffles me because half of them usually come across as self-inflicted.
Oh, that's interesting. Elaborate on that, Dalton.
Like so many of these are so subtle and so intricate in their nature that you couldn't within a reasonable standard just stumble on them. Like someone had to make you aware of this and then you had to develop this neurosis. So on some level a lot of these have to be self-inflicted. And I know that, you know, the brain can do a lot of weird shit when it comes to anxiety. I have anxiety. I've had pretty crippling anxiety for most of my life. Once my heart literally almost stopped because it was beating so fast.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I understand that anxiety is a thing, and anxiety can grab onto just about anything that you give it to worry about. But someone somewhere had to educate these people on all of the various ways they could be offensive for them to discover they had these neuroses. I refuse to believe by the standard of reasonable doubt that they just stumble on all of these of their own accord and by their own volition.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially because these people prize self-awareness, not at all. Like they don't operate by the standard of know thyself. They're not fucking Socrates, so they can't have examined themselves that closely to develop these neuroses by themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Actually, you're absolutely right.
Because if they had examined themselves that closely, you might think that they would develop this thing we call self-awareness, and we know the average self-awareness spectrum of these people is like the width of a human hair. So
yeah, they clearly do not have any of that.
And it's funny because if they applied some of this intellectualism they all love so much to understanding themselves and to understanding the world, they could actually probably be reasonably intellectual. But instead, it gets applied to this fucking moral woo, and away we go.
I love that moral woo.
Well, that's all it really amounts to. This abstract, ephemeral, like hierarchy, just elaborate, ethereal hierarchies of woo, and it's various degrees of woo, and it's
various degrees of woo. I love that.
That's all it really amounts to is some, and I've come across this in like the magical community too. There are so many fucking lackadaisical, like Wiccan motherfuckers that are just they use spirituality as like this abstract, ephemeral self-help shit, and it's just like
ephemeral self-help shit.
It's like you want to look at them and go, you don't take any of this seriously, do you? You've never actually studied or opened up a grimoire or any of this.
These are my chakras.
Like that's about as far as most people go, and it fucking irritates me to no end. Like there are so many people who are just like, well, if I put some herbs in the water and light some candles, that automatically makes me a witch. Like,
not really. Like, scented candles don't make you Sabrina, babe.
Yeah, no, it's just like, guys, you do know there's like thousands of years of study of this shit, and in every single human culture. So, if you want to do this, that's fine, but you're gonna have to be kind of intellectual and academic about it if you want to take it seriously. But no, they just want to use it as a means to their end of, well, my feelings are the greatest power in the universe, and it's like, no, fuck you. It's not. It has absolutely nothing to do with your feelings. It has to do with the energy that you accord to them, and you, my friend, have absolutely no fucking idea how to use that energy. You're basically a battery that someone broke and is now spewing radiation all over the fucking place, and you think that's powerful.
Just sad boy shit everywhere, man.
And then they blame the spells themselves when their spells don't work. It's like, well, maybe if you took this seriously and applied yourself in an intellectually honest manner to this shit, you might get results. But considering you're basically throwing a bunch of static cling at the wall and hoping something sticks, yeah, you're not gonna move a mountain with static fucking cling.
Pretty
if you
much.
want to move a mountain, there are ways to go about it, but you're not gonna move the world with a light breeze. You actually have to apply yourself and be serious for a second.
Dude, I love this. Oh my god, like these people have like no self-awareness, and that's the best part.
It's amusing as fuck until you realize these are the people that are running our universities and our HR departments and our PR departments now.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I think that's the problem that most people have with it. It's like these people have way too much power.
Yeah, because like when I first started looking into this, I didn't take it very seriously because I thought it was just basically in the universities. And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, wait, if they have the universities, that means they can educate people. And that means that they're in this thing, in this thing, in this thing, in this thing. And also, by the way, this is like the moral zeitgeist of the upper class. So all the people in power are basically morally obliged to agree with these people and give them like token positions all over the fucking place. And token positions here and there might not be very powerful, but when every single company has a HR department and a PR department and a human resources department,
it builds up.
Yeah. and then you get people in Hollywood with that kind of power, and then it's like, oh, by the way, we're gonna hashtag Me Too one of the most powerful directors in Hollywood, and it's totally gonna work. But we totally have no power whatsoever. Don't pay any attention to us. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but in order to take down somebody who owned his own production company, you need some power there. Deal with it.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, there's a degree of power that they're either not aware of or they just don't acknowledge having.
Well, no, I think it benefits them to be blissfully ignorant of it because
Yeah, I would say so.
Because again, their worldview operates on the metric of oppressor and oppressed and victim versus victimizer. So they need to always be in the moral right for their worldview to make sense. They can't justify all the uses of power that they have if they don't have an enemy that's more powerful than they are to use it on.
Yeah, you need a justification for why you're being abusive when you have this type of mindset mentality.
Yeah, so they basically cast themselves as like the protagonist of every 90s inspirational movie, like fucking Dead Poets Society or Patch Adams or some other shit like that.
Oh my god, I remember Patch Adams. Holy shit.
But that's basically how these guys see the world. They see themselves as Patch Adams, and they see everyone who disagrees with them as the fucking traditionalist Southern doctor there that's like the main villain of Patch Adams.
Like, I hate the everything with them is I hate the gays. Clearly, they must all be gay. Clearly, everyone you hate hates gay people. Everyone.
Never mind that several of us happen to be gay and or bisexual, and we're not big fans of it either. Two cases in point sitting right here, but
exactly.
Because every time I see these people doing that shit, all I can think is, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have a stable society. Because you take a perfectly reasonable and centrist position and you poke it until people get pissed at you.
Pretty much.
What it always fucking amounts to, remembering back in the 90s, Willow and Tara were gay on Buffy, and nobody had a problem with it. Buffy was still one of the most popular shows on TV, and they want to say that like the 90s were like super homophobic, and like there were Muslim characters on TV then, there were gay characters on TV then, there were people of all different religions and backgrounds and shit, and nobody gave a fuck because they were just people. But these people come along and they make that an issue, and then all of a sudden now it's an issue and everybody's pissed at you. Like, you took probably the best decade we've had in the modern era and you broke it because you wanted it to be better.
And then they try to. It's funny because either they don't like. Part of me thinks that like it isn't all like I don't obviously we like it's not all obviously malicious, but I mean there is some acknowledgement that what we're doing, what we believe to be the ends meet what is it?
Justify the means.
Justify the means, exactly, and it's just.
And to be fair, if you were a sociopath, these people would be so fucking useful.
Pretty much, yeah, because they believe in the most insane and just horrible shit.
And they're all motivated almost exclusively by emotion, to the point that they actually find like objective logic to be horrifying or something. Like, and this has been true for every moral movement in history. Like, you can't tell me there were no sociopaths in the Spanish Inquisition who just wanted to fucking kill and torture.
Oh my god, it's Squid. Yo, what's up, Squid? I was playing a game the entire time and I didn't know. Yo, what's up, Squid? I didn't even know Squid was here. She just saw me getting my ass kicked horribly, though. But yeah, like, if she even still here, let me see it. Yo, it's Squid. Hey, Squid, what's up? Also, sorry, Dalton. Squid is a friend of mine, and she was watching the stream.
Ah, okay. Yep.
Well,
nice to meet you.
Dalton hears me just rambling on about like, hey, it's Squid. How you doing, Squid?
No. I assumed it was somebody in the chat. But anyway, we should probably listen to the next segment of the DSA.
All right, let's go.
The dumbass socialists of America.
Oh, I love that.
Collective security is we don't want to put people in stressful situations that they don't consent to, right? And we have to be accountable to each other that our actions might have negative consequences for other people. We're also talking about de-escalation, right? Because people are going to have different experiences of things that some others might think is normal heatedness, and I think in some of that there's an inevitability there, but it's going to be really traumatic for people if we're not making an affirmative effort to de-escalate each other and de-escalate ourselves, right? If you are having a conflict with somebody, feel free to step away, right? We're going to make sure that you can get out of that space. Let somebody else step away if they need to step away, right? Don't.
Okay. So I don't consent to the dominance of feminism, and I need to step away from that. But there's no fucking where I can go because you guys are every fucking where. Do I warrant some de-escalation, perhaps, on the sociological power that feminists have?
Well,
no, that makes me a horribly immoral person.
Makes
Funny how that fucking works.
Makes you a misogynist, sir. I don't appreciate misogyny on my streams, Dalton. You know that. I don't appreciate misogyny on my stream.
Oh, please.
I don't know why I became like the Hulk. I don't appreciate misogyny on my streams. Like, I sound like PC Principal. What the fuck?
Lol.
Like, Jesus Christ, it's fucking stupid. Like, misogyny on my stream. Like, I should have noticed the hell out of me. But yeah, like, if you go against any of the narrative, the framework, whatever you want to refer to it as, the premises, whatever. If you go against it, you are either a misogynist or a racist, or you have some form of internal misogyny.
Just insert
internalized racism, or
just
something.
insert like morally invalidating word here. Basically, is what it always amounts to.
Exactly, it's some stupid non-argument.
And this is the thing that fucking annoys me as someone with a philosophical background. Ad hominem is a logical fallacy, which is arguments to the man, i.e., when you argue something about the person or derive invalidity or validity from the person rather than the argument.
Yeah.
And this kind of fucking identity politics, if you want to call it that, is literally just ad hominem. It's literally your identity defines you in this way or that way or this other way, so we don't have to listen to your perspective, or we do have to listen to your perspective based on your identity class. It's like
pretty much.
Does no one ever like put a hand up and go, guys, isn't this just entirely like rings upon rings of ad hominem arguments?
There's a video of some smug asshole, and it's like, and he just looks smug too, and it's something like, if you're and he's like sitting in a chair, and someone hands a microphone to him, and then he hands it to somebody else, and because he made the thread and he posted the video, and he's like, white allies take notice. And it's like, if nigga, then why are you there? If you're just gonna pass the mic to somebody else, homie, you ain't got nothing to say. You just occupying the seat for somebody you claim to be an ally of. Like, fuck off, man.
Yeah, you just marginalized yourself for the sake of somebody else who you don't even know because identity reason.
Not only that, but it's like, okay, so you're going to sit here, and then when somebody passes the mic to you, you're going to pass it to somebody else. Then if you have enough, if your whole argument is, where I'm here to listen to marginalized people's experiences, then sit in the audience. Why are you here? Why are you on this stage taking up a seat? You should be in the audience then, not here.
Because virtue signaling, because one good white man syndrome, basically.
Yes, like, heroic white man syndrome. Yes, exactly.
Like all of my people are terrible, but I am the one good person who woke up out of the evil trance and decided to do some good. Like you and every other motherfucker who's ever had a moral argument ever. Every moral authoritarian always thinks that. Every moral authoritarian always goes with the my people are sinful, or my people are privileged, or my people are this, or my people are that. And then they get off on the fact that they're the one good one. It's just possible that everyone is the one good one, and there are vanishingly few numbers of these evil people you're talking about.
That's why that fucking that's why that video pisses me off, because it's basically some smug asshole with a white savior complex patting himself on the back for taking up someone else's seat. Someone who actually who actually may have answers and solutions to problems he pretends to care about.
Well, and again, I don't even necessarily think he's just pretending. I just think that he doesn't realize what he's doing. I think he genuinely does think that he's the one good man, and therefore he gets off on feeling moral about it.
Go ahead.
Like these people don't connect like A to B. These people start with their premise and then they don't take it any further because these people have no intellectual curiosity. They have no ability to take a principle and apply it unless somebody shows them how to apply it to something.
I would agree. I would agree with that if not for the fact that you like like you can look at certain things and see how they're staged and see that there was an attempt to show off one's virtue or righteousness. You know, it's not just, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, you can look at the scene.
There's definitely some self-interest there. I'm just saying that their conscious understanding of things goes so surface level that most of that shit is done subconsciously. Most of the I want to be seen as the moral person is something that happens subconsciously.
For some people, I would agree with. For like this guy, I'll show you the video. I can't stand this motherfucker's face.
Oh, was he doing the like nudge wink wink face?
Yeah, like he was so smug. Like Dalton, he looked so fucking smug. Like you look at his face, and he even had a smirk in his profile when he was doing it. I'm just like, if this was somebody who was like a troll or something, okay, that would be funny. But come on. This asshole pissed me off, man. I saw that.
Oh, fucking no. But yeah, anyway, let's get back into the fucking listening to them prattle on.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm sure there's fucking more gems of pure stupidity there.
All right, let me read some of Squid's comments. Okay, I'm right around you started playing the video about the guy talking about smells. Yeah, so they care about different experiences, yet they want to make their own experiences the ones that matter. Yeah, it seems like. Who is that guy in the video? He's one of the speakers for the Democratic Socialist of America because he wants some sort of power. Yeah, it does feel that way. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on both the chat and my game.
Okay.
All right, unless you do it for me, Dalton, that would be great if you could help me out.
I don't think I can because I'm on my phone, and if I minimize the window, it'll eject me from the call.
Okay, never mind. I'll do it. No, I'll do it then. Let me see. All right, let me get back to playing this thing here.
Talk to MAGA assholes. We're almost there. But thank you. We are safe and we are strong because there's power in collective work, and that's exactly what we're doing here. And we're going to rely on you to make that happen. So I'm very happy to be working with you on this project, and I hope everyone has a great convention.
I'm going to hand it to Natalie to make one quick announcement.
Okay, we have our 2 mics up front. We also have 2 additional mics that are being run. So if, for example, you make a point of information or a point of privilege, please, keep your hand up or stand if you can, and they will run a mic to you.
So next, we're going to go to some further committee reports. After that, we're going to go through adopting the rules. So with that, everyone, we're going to start voting. So let's take a deep breath. Great. And so I'm going to welcome Brian to give the credentials report.
Hi, everybody. Brian Laverne, he, him from Houston. So,
My soul.
now we'll the summary. In the complete report,
Point of personal privilege. There are people at the back who are having problems hearing. Thanks.
oh, thank you very much.
Great. So I've heard.
Hi, I motion to amend the report to strike the East Bay locals winning slate 6 lowest ranking delegates who are Shane R., Emma G., Andrew R., Max L., Richard M., and Charlie H. from the list of delegates from the East Bay local of DSA, and that top vote receiving alternates, including Bonnie L., Colin PBM, Dan E., Ted F., Colin M., and Jackie A. be added to that list.
Okay, I've heard a motion and a second. Could I hear your name and your chapter?
Hi, my name is Onlin Wang. I use he, him, and I'm from Philadelphia.
There's a motion to amend the roster to substitute 6 members of the, yes. Could someone please run a mic to the comrade in the jean jacket, of which there are many?
Yeah, we know you're a bunch of lispy hipster fucks
Sorry.
wearing jean jackets, and you want to be taken seriously as a political movement. You'll have to imagine my shock, though, because no.
Substitute members of an unrelated chapter. I mean,
It is. Great.
Point of clarification here on what we're actually.
Could you get to the mic, please?
So point of clarification in that the chair gave a report. There was a verbal second from the audience on the report of which was given. And then there was a motion for an amendment to that. What are we actually talking about at this point? And then what is the vote going to be?
Thank you.
We need to be very clear about the work that we are trying to do. It is important.
So right now, we are debating the amendment to the committee report. And that amendment is to swap 6 of the the amendment is to take 6 different delegates to recognize 6 different delegates from East Bay from what the committee report says.
so in voting yes.
Okay, fuck no, this.
Yeah, so
Jesus, this took forever to fucking get, like, Jesus Christ, that took forever for them to get to the point.
Yeah, because it's emotionally driven bureaucracy organizing things or something. But that can't be. Socialism is perfect, herp derp.
Why are we here? We're getting stuff done, but it's taking us forever to get stuff done, so why don't we get stuff done? We're getting stuff done! Calm down, buddy! Don't tell me to calm down, pal. I'm not your pal, buddy. I'm not your buddy, pal. Like, I would rather they just did that than whatever this is. This is such a fucking joke.
Well, it is worse when they do it because they have to actually feign some kind of interest in what everyone else is feeling and thinking and shit. And it's just like
she just wants to get it done, but then like they have their own personal issues, and so one person just finally gets up and they're like, "Can we please just start already?" And then you hear everybody clap.
Well, not clap because
that's
triggering. So jazz hands. You see a bunch of waving jazz hands. But yeah, the other thing is the inserting pronouns there. It's just like, what does this actually have to do with the economic policy you guys want?
Like they try to take economic issues and gender issues and issues of race and class, and they try to
just throw it all in a blender
Exactly. They try to fuse them into this chimera of like a movement, and you can't always do that because you get shit like this, where you have people more or less fighting over nonsensical issues and seemingly looking for reasons to be ass blasted.
I think these people are too prudish to be ass blasted by anyone.
The delegates.
No. So voting yes means that you want the substitute 6 delegates to be seated instead of the delegation that is outlined in the credentials committee report.
Thank you.
Does that make sense? No.
No, none of this makes sense, but you gotta do it anyway. Fuck off.
Micah Utrick from Chicago. So just to be clear, the amendment is going against basically the spirit of the report that was just delivered, right? So if you agree with what the report recommended, then you should. I'm just asking. I'm trying to understand what.
Voting yes means that you are supporting the challenge to the East Bay delegation.
Point of privilege. Can I reiterate that we, for the sake of our comrades who have sensory issues, refrain from hissing, loudly shouting out your opinion on a vote, or waving banners and signs that reflect your vote in front of people?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so now, is there any further debate on the credentials committee report?
Point.
Hold on, point of order. Yep.
Thank you. So
Sorry, what's your name and
my
your?
name is Trey. I use they, them, and he, him pronouns. I'm from Memphis. Thank you for asking. Nice to meet you. Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
For fuck's sake, dude. Get to the point.
So, Nick? Jack? What is his name? Or what is his name?
This person, so you can see the irritation in her face. This person, this is one of those really catty people on Twitter who is excessively sassy for no fucking reason. You can tell this is some excessively sassy and nasty person on Twitter.
I'm pretty sure this is one of those people that prides themselves on it, and then when confronted about it, it's just like, I tell it like it is. No, telling like it is would imply some understanding of how it is. You're just a bitch about whatever arbitrary whim strikes your fancy that day.
Hey, you're just some bitch and you're stuck up. That's pretty much it. You're just some stuck up asshole. That's pretty much it. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
And did you catch how she thought she was funny when she made the jean jacket comment, because she was wearing a jean jacket too? So she's like, and there are many. Like, that's supposed to be really fucking funny or something.
I guess it's just like, I'm such a card.
No. I get the feeling that these people are the people that people laugh at rather than with.
You can tell this chick is pissed off. Let me see if something was said in the chat. Hold on. Oh no. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Let me get back to see if Squid said something. Is it just me, or do these groups always turn out to be the least diverse people ever, despite their claims to be diversity? Yes, I agree. They're all. So when I was in SJW, like almost all my friends were like white dudes. Almost all of them were white dudes. I knew like 2 black people, one of which didn't like my group. And a bunch of and one of them was a chick who was married to a guy I really liked. Not married, but they were going out. And I think I knew like 2 other people who weren't straight, and that's about it. Let's see. Well, not entirely straight anyway. Go ahead.
So what you're saying is, when you became an anti-SJWA, you actually found a more diverse group.
Literally, yeah. Like most of my friends that I know probably who I actively talk to, including Dalton, is like 4 white dudes. But that doesn't mean anything because Dalton is bi and he has a large preference for men anyway. And 2 of them are straight. That's pretty much it, though. And one of them was going through a phase where he might have been bisexual anyway. So, yeah, when I was in SJW, like almost all my friends were white. Let me see. What is the point? The point is that the point is infighting, really, and then you add on top of the infighting with like incredibly fragile and neurotic people. I still didn't know what was going on. What is this whole debate and what are they voting for? I don't know, to be completely honest with you. They just keep going back and forth.
It's like their national yearly conference is what this is supposed to be, and they're supposed to be like addressing like the major issues of the party and how the party will conduct itself and shit. And this is as far as they've gotten in like the 5 minutes we've been listening.
Pretty much.
Elected as an at-large delegate before they resigned. Is that correct? No. Okay, then never mind.
Now, we are going to.
Point of information, could you please let us know how many delegates there are?
Anyone know that? Hold on 1 second. Do you know that? I believe 1,057.
Thank you.
Great, awesome. And now we're going to move on to the resolutions and
Very brief.
committee.
Very brief point of information. If you are using a microphone, talk into it directly like I am right now, and do not wave your face back and forth because people cannot hear you. That is all.
Okay, guys, that's the second time that you had to explain how microphones work.
Okay, wait. Say that again.
This is just something I noticed. This is like the second time they've had to explain how microphones work. Like this is how risky and unironically privileged these people are. Like they need to be expressly told how microphones work multiple times. In like a public venue, which is apparently being live streamed and recorded and shit. Like, wow.
This is so ridiculous. Like, homie, what? It took them forever to get to this point, and they're just sniping at each other. It's amazing.
It's like they're not even going to get to any actual resolutions.
Adopting the convention rules. These are listed on the website.
Hi, I'm NDP from Los Angeles, they, them pronouns. Could I please ask the chair to, again, there was a previous point of privilege about waving around signs, that it is distracting to other comrades. I have autism. This is distracting to me. I would like to ask our fellow delegates, please, to not wave around your signs, especially during voting. Thank you.
Yes, please do not wave around your signs. Thank you. Madam Chair, at this point, we're waiting for the vote to be created. When it's ready, I'll let you know, and there will be a URL projected on the screen, and you will be able to put that in either to your phone, your laptop, or you can go use one of the iPads that we have ready.
This is Chris, he, him from Cleveland. We have not approved any rules to use an online voting system. Robert's rules does not allow online voting unless we approve a rule to do so. Is that correct?
Okay, so hold on. Yes, I see a point of personal privilege. Can you get to a mic, or can someone run a mic? Someone is trying to iPad and mic at the same time, so if someone could help that person out.
Please help that person
Thank you,
out.
Chair. Nick, he, him, his from Twin Cities. This is on behalf of a delegate who's currently in the remote room. They say that it is very hard to see the screens and cannot get a URL.
Point of information, Madam Chair.
Hold on. We're going to go to Rebecca before we get to whoever is at the mic right now. Rebecca, are you ready to share what's going on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we've hit the Opavert server too hard, and I'm going to go call Jeff.
Point of information then?
Yes.
Okay, I'm old school, folks, and it's probably some technical problem that we can't solve. So my point of information is really a question. Is it possible that we do this the old-fashioned way and have the yeses on one side of the room and noes on the other? Would that be possible for the chair to do?
I would suggest not doing that because there's going to be a little bit too much motion. Can I take a moment just to consult with our staff to see if we could get volunteers to count?
Yeah, I actually feel kind of bad for the dude who's just like, can we just do this the old-fashioned way? The problem, of course, is the old-fashioned way is the patriarchy by default. So you just commit an act of misogyny, sir.
Oh, it's just
and
like...
also motion is potentially triggering, so reasoned.
Too much overstimulation.
Like if I was there, I would just raise my hand and go, "I'm sorry, but a grotesque lack of efficiency fucking triggers my need for things to be logical. So can we deal with that?"
He's taller than me. Fuck you.
Huh?
I'm so petty. I saw this person who was taller than me, and I'm like, "How are you taller than me? Fuck you." I'm so fucking ridiculously petty about shit. I'm sorry, but yeah, like it's ridiculous. It's like, and like I like how seriously offended people. It was so weird. Like they were offended by the guy's suggestion. It's like people could move, and that could make other people feel uncomfortable. It's just like,
well, because you know what they were thinking when he said the words the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, they thought he's some sort of like MAGA. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Traditional,
some traditionalist patriarch, and it's just like, guys, he's on your side, and he's been in this party probably longer than most of you have been alive.
Exactly.
Can you not give the dude some credit here?
Exactly. Can you not like just shit all over him?
Okay. Could I get counters to the front? Okay, so we're gonna take a hand count right now.
Jesus, there's barely anyone in here. You see all these empty seats?
Well, I mean, better to account for more people than there are going to be than too few people, I guess.
Yeah.
And hopefully this online voting system will work soon. When a counter has gone around and confirmed, like nodded at you or something,
And the delegate who brought clickers.
You can lower your hand. But only when the person who's like counting has like verbally
wait, let me read what Squid is saying. Why do people tag comics and I didn't fucking mean to tag comics and not to nonsense live streams. If I tag comics by it, that's my bad, bro. I didn't fucking mean to do that. That's my bad, homie. I didn't know comic books were tagged to this.
Squid's just like point of personal privilege.
Yeah, like
again, comics tagged on this.
My bad, bro. My bad. Relaxing. I did not mean like if he's still around, which I didn't think he's not. He's pissed off at me for this live stream, but I didn't know comic books were tagged to this. I'm not just a strictly comic book channel. I do other shit, but I should have. But if I had tagged comics with this, my bad. I didn't even know it was tagged like that. So again, my bad. All they're doing is talking about their pronouns or whatever disorder they have. Yet that is not the point what they're trying to do. There we go. Let me see. Let me play this.
Confirm with their body language that they've counted your vote.
The hell does that sound? Oh, okay, that is irritating. Let me.
Yeah, the guy who made this compilation edited it.
Maybe we need to have more time to talk.
Okay.
So, if you are standing up, could you please sit down and get into a seat so that so there aren't so many people moving around? And then let me consult the people who are counting. So everyone who is not a counter, take a seat. Take a seat. Everyone on the walls, take a seat so that we can count.
I love how she's like having to treat them like kindergartners.
It's very difficult to count.
Say that again.
I love how she's like having to treat them as kindergartners in order to get anything fucking done here.
Because they want to be treated as such. It's funny because a lot of these are fully capable people. And yeah, like people like yourself who suffer from a lot of like a serious issue, like you're treated like these people want to be treated in their daily lives.
And it's just like, I didn't ask for this, and in fact find it incredibly condescending and annoying. So can you not do that?
Yeah.
Like
Whereas
this is one of the reasons I hate these people, because it's like they want everyone to be treated the way that fucking has always annoyed me since I was like fucking 4 or 5 years old.
like,
Like
they want to be
e-
treated like children.
even as a 4 or 5 year old, I found this shit condescending. So like, I can't imagine what would possess somebody to be like wanting to be treated like a 2 or 3 year old in the body of a 20 fucking 5 year old or something.
It's so fucking sad.
Okay. So we are going to take this count again. We could respect our comrades.
I'm rising to speak against.
You gotta get closer to the mic.
I'm rising to speak against this amendment to the rules, as it would inhibit the democracy that is inherent to our organization. If you look at it, most of the time that has been wasted in this body was not wasted on debate. It was wasted in vote after vote after vote and voting on whether we're going to vote on voting. It is ridiculous, and this resolution would not save us any time.
What's your, yep. Could you get to a mic or
Okay, someone finally said something sensible.
When we're raising our placards, when we transition between the votes, can we slow down a little bit, because it's starting to get confusing for people? Thank
Totally.
you.
Yep.
So immediately, I mean, it would have to be after the.
Sorry, that's a point of debate. That's not
Yeah,
actually.
well, no, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
No, that's out of order.
Doesn't make
Sorry,
any sense.
we've ended debate. Okay, so now we're going to vote.
I have a point of order.
So voting yes would be to make it. Hold on, could I just get through my sentence, please? Okay, so all those in favor of. We already said that that's July 2018. Okay, so all those in favor of the amendment to take up. You need to get to a mic.
This is hilarious.
Would now be a good time to add amendments to the amendment,
No,
or is that not?
we are
Okay.
voting right now.
Okay.
Okay, so all those in favor.
So pissed.
Okay.
Sorry. So what happens if there's conflicting amendments? So I feel like we don't know is not an acceptable answer, but that's a point of debate. I know.
Yeah, that's a point of debate. Okay. Is there further debate on the convention rules? There's a motion to call the question, and there's a second. So we are ending debate on the convention rules as a whole, and we are going. All those in favor of ending debate, please raise your placards. All those opposed? That passes. And what is you need to get to a mic to be able to,
I was coming up here to make an amendment.
Sorry, it's out of order because we just ended debate.
Okay, the problem is, folks, if the NPC were to decide.
Sorry, you
Never
can't
mind.
do that. Okay, so now we're going to vote
If the
to adopt
NPC were to decide.
this requires.
I know NPC is probably an acronym for something else, but there's part of me that wonders if they're aware of the NPC meme.
This is so, it's literally people voting on things to vote on things to vote on, and getting offended while voting on those things to vote on, and then voting on whether or not and then voting on being sorry about those things people are offended by.
Yeah, it's just like, are we going to formally derail this entire conference based on one person getting offended? All in favor, and all the hands just shoot up for some reason.
Jesus Christ, this is just perpetual outrage. Holy shit. This is how perpetual outrage is born, my friends. This right here.
This is the fine wine of cringe right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Fine wine, fine wine. I'll probably have to change. Like maybe, let me see. All they're talking about is how they're going to vote, and now what they're going to vote on. I wonder if I should probably change my some of my channel tags because other people might get that too. They're like, why aren't you talking about fun shit like titties and terrible comic books? Because I enjoy all types of things.
Maybe you should change the tags around if you can.
All right, I will.
All those in favor
Point
of
of inquiry?
what's your point of inquiry?
As it stands, this is Daniel Ray from Piedmont. He, him pronouns. As it stands right now, can we make amendments to resolutions and constitutional bylaws stand? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so all those in favor of adopting the convention rules, please raise your placards. All those opposed.
Wait. Hold everything. That entire rigmarole there was voting on whether the rules of their own convention could be upheld.
Yes.
So that people couldn't be triggered by the actual rules of the. Me. I would die from just sheer rage if I were in this room, because it's just like. Because you know me, I am a stickler when it comes to fucking logic and efficiently doing things. So, about 5 minutes into this, I would just, like, internally combust because of all the inefficient, illogical bullshit that was going on.
How do you feel about that, Dalton?
It's just fuck and wow. Like, these people are everything that I despise about the human condition.
These people are everything. These people are everything that poll makes fun of. Like, holy shit.
They need to fucking be impaled on a pole at this point. I'm starting to get unreasonably angry at them.
In Minecraft.
Such logically efficient.
Wait. Dalton meant they need to be impaled in Minecraft. That's where he meant they need to be impaled.
Sure.
Not literally. Yes, in Minecraft.
Sure.
I know that annoys you, Dalton, but like there are reasons for that now.
For the sake of the capricious YouTube algorithm, yes. I will concede that I was totally being figurative and not imagining elaborate ways that I could impale these people.
Yes, in Minecraft. He wants to impale them in Minecraft. Yes. Again, Dalton, I know it annoys you, bro. It's just,
but YouTube though. So yeah.
Yeah. In Minecraft.
For the sake of the argument, I totally was not being entirely literal and was totally not about 5 seconds away from bursting a blood vessel over these people's stupid.
In Minecraft, yes. In Minecraft, he was.
Lol.
There's like a little bit left of this. Let's play it out here.
Okay, awesome. And
they clapped. They weren't supposed to clap, but they did. You gotta remain. They clapped.
That was the first fucking thing we got onto with this. But okay, these people are slowly like making me lose my faith in humanity all over again. And I never had any faith in humanity to begin with. I am now in the negative percentage of faith in humanity here.
Yeah.
Like minus 12 faith in humanity is what I'm currently resting at.
Dalton, trust me, my friend. These people will grow on you like fungus.
I don't want to make that an STD joke, so I'm just going.
That's a me joke.
I'm just going to leave that there and let people fill in the void with whatever STD joke they want to make.
Oh, yes. Anyway, hello. How many hours? How long has this been going on? Probably like an hour. I'm sure. Let me see. You can't do that. What was he even trying to do? Basically, that was the whole thing, Squid. They were just voting on whether or not to go by the rules of their convention, right? Is that about it, Dalton?
But yeah, the presumably preordained and pre-established rules that they set out before having the convention, and they needed to stop everything to vote on whether to actually uphold their own rule. Fuck and wow.
When you, it's just I don't know.
Like they made the convention. They made the convention. They presumably fundraised for the convention, having rules already in mind for the convention. Then they get there and they realize, oh shit, the rules we made might trigger somebody. We should have a vote as to whether to uphold our own rules that we already pre-established like months and months ago. Fuck, wow, just there aren't words. It's just fuck. All y'all need to fuck yourselves with like a cock the size of the universe
in Minecraft. Yeah, I agree. I don't care anymore. I've stopped caring about things and life and just.
Well, I mean, you probably still care about yourself because
I do. I'm just really sad, to be honest with you. All right. I think I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna end it there. Because I'm gonna end it there because like the thing's over, and I think we've been streaming for like an appropriately decent amount of time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do another stream later. Go ahead.
We started at like fucking, I want to say like 7 o'clock, and it's almost 9. So yeah.
All right. So we've got like a decent amount of time in. I'm sorry for cutting it short, but Dalton, as always, it was awesome talking to you, my friend.
Yep.
And
anytime you want to do something, just let me know.
I'll probably do something again with you later this week. Squid, thank you for joining me. Hit me up on Discord, both of you. And that'll be about it for right now. I don't know. Say something. Pimp yourself out, Dalton.
Alrighty. If you guys are interested in me, my name's Dalton Mortimer. I'm the Authenticator. My channel is called The Authenticator. I do lots of different kinds of content. Haven't done one in a while because of some personal issues, and now I'm waiting for a friend of mine to actually compose me a theme tune for my channel. So that's
Brainstorm's gonna make a theme for you?
No, my friend Joe from college is gonna write me a theme.
That's dope.
He's a musician and he offered, so yeah. And then hopefully Brainstormer will put some visuals to it because he's better at editing than I am. But yeah, you can also follow me on Twitter at The Authenticator, but spelled without the U because Twitter's a bunch of dickheads and they wouldn't let me put the appropriate number of characters in there. And you can find me just about everywhere else, including Minds and BitChute at The Authenticator spelled normally. Cheers, guys.
All right, cheers, everybody. Later, Squid. In the broadcast. All right. I'm gonna go use the bathroom.